Hello everyone, this is part 7 of What If Naruto Came Back to Claim His Family's Name, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Hinata Hyuga strolled down the street as happy as she had been since, well, she never been this happy before. Yes, I am dating Naruto-kun, screamed Hinata in joy to herself as she walked toward the Namikaze residence, hoping to surprise Naruto-kun. As she walked ever closer, her mind wandered back to the magical night in the park and their kiss. She was unaware that the person she kissed wasn't Naruto but was in fact Kiba. Hinata was snapped out of her memory by a good friend. Hey Hinata-chan, where are you off to? Asked Kiba. Well, I am off to see Naruto-kun. Kiba, I would like it if you stop calling me Chan. I am dating Naruto-kun now and he wouldn't like it if you called me Chan, said Hinata somewhat coldly to her friends. I see, said Kiba as a thought ran through his head. Crap, I have to head her off before she reaches Naruto house. Don't worry Kiba, you'll find someone just like I found Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she walked past Kiba toward Naruto's house. I don't want to find anyone else, I want you, said Kiba softly before rushing off to head off Hinata. Kiba ran across the rooftops, quickly turning into Naruto as he went. He arrived just as Hinata was walking up toward the Namikaze front door. Kiba ran toward Hinata. He reached her just as she was about to knock on the door. Hello Hinata-chan, what brings you around here? Asked Kiba as Hinata turned to face him. Why, to see you of course Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she walked toward what she thought was Naruto and kissed him. Hinata, what are you doing to my Naruto-kun? Yelled a voice from the doorway. Kiba and Hinata parted to see a very angry Sakura standing in the doorway along with a Juno. You're Naruto-kun, I have been dating Naruto-kun for 3 days after you broke up with him to get Sasuke back, said Hinata as she glared at Sakura. Okay, now I know that you are lying to me. First, why would I want Sasuke when I have Naruto-kun? Secondly, 3 days ago Naruto-kun and myself were on a mission to the Rock Village. We just got back today, said Sakura as she marched up toward Hinata. Now tell me, why were you kissing my boyfriend? Like I said, he isn't your boyfriend, you witch, yelled Hinata. Suddenly Juno started barking. Sakura looked down to see Juno growling at Naruto. Somehow Sakura knew what Juno was saying. I see, said Sakura as she looked back up from Juno to Hinata and Naruto, Kiba, while smiling a bit. What do finally see that you don't belong with Naruto-kun? That you belong with lower class clans. I know Kiba is looking for someone, said Hinata. No, I do belong with Naruto-kun, however unlike you I can tell that isn't Naruto-kun, said Sakura with a smirk. What, of course this is Naruto-kun, the past 3 days of my life has been haven and that could only be true if this is Naruto-kun, said Hinata as she finished. A golden flash of light appeared by the front door. When the light disappeared, Naruto stood there holding a bag of food. A second later the Kyuubi appeared in a ball of flames. Now do you believe me? Said Sakura with a smirk as Naruto placed the bag down before he walked up to the scene, looked at his fake self before saying, Come on out Kiba, I can smell dogs on you, said Naruto as Hinata looked as her. Naruto lowered his head before transforming back into Kiba. Kiba, it was you all this time? Asked Hinata softly. Yeah, it was me Hinata-chan, said Kiba as he lowered his head in shame. Please try to understand Hinata-chan. I love you and I have since we were genin, but you always looked at Naruto. So I thought that if you thought you were dating Naruto but you were really dating me, then once you found out then we could date normally. So what do you say Hinata-chan, will you go out with me? Hinata just stood there crying a little before she slapped Kiba hard across the face, sending him to the ground. Never, I will never date you Kiba. I love Naruto-kun and we will be together and no dog like yourself or that pink-haired witch can stop that, yelled Hinata as she pointed at Sakura. However, soon she found herself on the ground with a hard punch and Naruto standing over her. Never insult Sakura-chan in front of me ever again, or next time I won't leave all your bones intact, said Naruto coldly as he glared at Hinata. Why Naruto? Why her? She was so mean to you, asked Hinata. Because she is the woman I love and love forgives all, said Naruto. I bet you Kiba has already forgiven you for what you said just a few seconds ago. I don't really care about Kiba, I only care about you Naruto-kun. I want us to be happy, said Hinata. Hinata, there is no us, I love Sakura-chan. It is time for you to look past me to see that there are others who will love you. No. There is no one else. There is only you, yelled Hinata. Besides, you need my clan's power to help you rebuild your clan. Hinata, yelled Naruto, full of rage. Is that all you think I care about? Power means nothing to me. I would rather live in PORVETY and have Sakura CHAN at my side than have all the power in this ENTIRER village and not have her. But Naruto-kun, started Hinata. But nothing, yelled Naruto. I love it when Naruto-kun defends our honor, said Ina Sakura. I love it that he loves me just as much as I love him, thought Sakura as Naruto took a second to calm down before speaking again. Hinata, you used to be so sweet, so kind. You couldn't hurt a fly, but now you are a perfect little Hyuga. You turned into a power-hungry, greedily, backstabbing, self-centered Hyuga. I don't know how it happened, but you are not the same Hinata Hyuga to who I was friends with. Yes, I am Naruto-kun, yelled Hinata. No, Miss Hyuga, you are not, said Naruto as he turned his back on Hinata. Now get off my yard. Naruto-kun, why are you doing this? I am Hinata, we are friends and we belong together, said Hinata with tears in her eyes. No, Miss Hyuga, the Hinata Hyuga I knew is S. You are a stranger to me, and as a stranger I ask one more time, go away or I will force you, said Naruto. No, I will not leave Naruto-kun, not until you call me by my name, said Hinata. Fine, you leave me no choice, said Naruto as he turned around and within a second punched Hinata in the gut, knocking her out cold. Hinata fell to the ground as Naruto turned to face Kiba. Kiba, will you take her back home? Sure, said Kiba as he walked over to Hinata. However, before he picked her up, he gently moved some of her hair out of her face. Naruto, Sakura, I am sorry for what I did. I didn't mean for all this to happen, he said while holding Hinata in his arms with her head resting on his upper arm. Don't worry about it, Kiba. I did the same thing when we were genin, only I became Sasuke to try to kiss Sakura-chan, said Naruto. That was you? Asked Sakura. Yeah. You ran away from me that day, why? Asked Sakura. Well, I drank some rotten milk that day and, said Naruto. What, you drank rotten milk? Do you know what that does to your body? You barker, yelled Sakura. I do now, said Naruto. While those two were going at it, Kiba just stood there just looking at Hinata loving in his arms before proceeding to the Hyuga compound, leaving Naruto and Sakura to fight it out. The genin had been given the day off. Minuto's uncle, Ibiki Morino, originally argued with the Hokage about Naruto's remove of Minuto until he heard that he almost caused Kinkura's death and had mouthed off to his sensei. In the end, they agreed that Minuto was too good to get rid of, therefore he would be given another chance, but if he crossed the line again he would be removed from the ninja ranks forever. Since the genin had the day off, Naruto and Sakura went over to the Uchiha district for lunch with Sasuke, Ino and Ino's parents. Lunch was good, they mostly by talk of the upcoming Uchiha to Yamanaka wedding. After lunch the guys went outside to talk while the girls stayed inside and planned the wedding. I think blue would be good for the center color, said Ino's mother. Lis means lily in French. Just don't make the bridesmaids dress ugly, said Sakura as the talk went into what type of flowers to use, and that went right over Sakura's head. I hate it when Ino talks about flowers, thought Sakura. Sakura, said Lis. What? I asked you what do you think we should have as the centerpiece flower? Asked Lis. Mom, we have to use a rose, it is the flower of the Uchiha clan, said Ino. Okay, but I do want to put some lilies in there, after all our clan's flower, said Lsy. Why don't you use them both? Asked Sakura. That could work, said both Yuka and Ino as they went on and on about the flowers. Finally Sakura need a break. I'm going to the restroom, she said as she stood up to leave the living room. Sakura walked down the hall thinking, we have been at this for only an hour and I am already sick of helping Ino pick out things. Time must fly faster for Ino, said Ina Sakura, besides we will find out when we are planning ours and Naruto-kun's wedding. Yeah, and when that happens I plan to ask Ino about everything, like she is doing to me, thought Sakura with a smirk as she neared the bathroom. She was about to open the bathroom door when she heard a notice coming from the room across the hall from her. Sakura fingers went down to her weapon pouch as she opened the door to what should have been an enemy bedroom. When she opened the room, she found it was something totally different. The walls had pictures of boys and other teenage girl things. However, what stunned her was the 4 girls sitting on the floor inside. All of them had leaf headbands on, but they looked only 12, maybe 13 years old. The first girl had on tight brown pants with a blue jacket. On the shoulder of the jacket was the Uchiha sign. The girl had the same hairstyle that Ino always used. Her long ponytail was pulled back and band of hair covered a little of her face. Just like Ino, this girl had blonde hair, but unlike Ino, she had black tips. The entire back half of the ponytail was jet black in color. Except for the black part of her hair, she could have passed as Ino's double. Sakura also noticed that a sword similar to what Sasuke carries rested on the bed. Sakura took her eyes off her and moved to the next girl. She looked like a mini Tamari except with brown hair. A giant fan rested next to her, but her arms were crossed just like Shikamaru does from time to time. Next came a girl with silver hair wearing brown jacket and a light gray skirt. Her face looked so much like Anko, but the silver hair was defiantly Kakashi's. The last girl was one that she had seen before. She had blonde hair with pink highlights running through it. Her blue eyes shone just like Naruto, and a brown fox slept on floor next to her. She had on black shorts with a blue skirt over it that went up into an orange sleeveless shirt. Think Sakura after time skip up with the colors orange and blue. No, I am telling you that Kib is the cutest, said the Uchiha. She even sounded just like Ino. I am telling you, Liz, you are wrong, said Sakura's daughter back at the Uchiha. You're right, Kushina, you are only saying that because you have the hugest crush on my brother, said Liz. As Sakura's eyes widened, her daughter was named Kushina. I do not, yelled Kushina back at Liz. Data, said Liz as the two of them started yelling back and forth at each other. Just like Ino and Sakura did when they were genin. Troublesome, said the Tamari's and Shikamaru's daughter. My dad told me that both their moms and dads fought like that all the time, when he was their sensei, said the silver hair girl, and somehow they still stayed best friends. Shut up, you two, yelled both Liz and Kushinsa before the entire scene disappeared. What was that? Asked Sakura. It was just like the time when we saw Naruto, and older us and our family sleeping in the same bed and when they were playing with the fox pups. Said Ina Sakura. Yeah, now I really think I am going crazy, maybe I need to get some sleep, said Sakura as she rubbed her forehead. I wonder where the name Kushina came from, said Ina Sakura as she got into a think pause. I don't know, maybe it is just some name I dreamed up, said Sakura as she turned and headed back to the bathroom. When her back was turned, an 8-tailed fox appeared in the bedroom, looked at her for a few seconds before disappearing. A gentle gust of wind. As Sakura stood in the bathroom taking up as much time as possible before going back to Ino and her mother, she listened in on Naruto. Sasuke and Inoki sat around playing cards and drinking a few beers. So Naruto, have you decided if you're going to vote for me or are you going with Hashi? Asked Inoki. Sir, I don't really want to talk about that right now, I hate all this moving and dealing, said Naruto. Well, that is another thing that you and your father have in common. I remember what my dad told me, your father hated dealing with the politics of the council, said Inoki. Hey, speaking of the fourth, Naruto, where are you going to be during the festival on Friday? What festival? Asked Naruto. Are you kidding? You don't know it is the festival celebrating the day that your dad defeated the Kyuubi, said Inoki as Naruto looked at the ground. Oh, it is October 10th again, said Naruto sadly. I will have to tell the foxes to be on extra alert. Why? Asked Inoki. Are you kidding? That is the day that the villagers are after me the most. I am not going to leave my house, said Naruto as Inoki started laughing a bit. You can't be serious. It is the largest festival that this village has. You have to go out, said Inoki. Mr. Yamanaka, I don't really want to celebrate the day my father's sealing the Kyuubi in me, minutes after my mother's giving birth to me, said Naruto so sadly that Sakura want to go out and comfort him. I understand now, Naruto, said Inoki as the guys went back to play cards. Sakura went back to Ino and Liz, who apparently hadn't noticed that she was gone. I feel so bad for Naruto-kun, he never went to that festival. Thought Sakura as the two other women talked more and more about flowers. Then take him to the festival, said Sakura. No, you heard him, he lost his entire family on the day that he was born, yelled Sakura back at her inner self. Wait a second, the day he was born. Friday is Naruto-kun's birthday. I have to get him something. You could always give him yourself, said Sakura with a smirk. I am sure that he will love unwrapping you as much as we would. How many times do I have to tell you I plan to wait till marriage, said Sakura to her inner self. It was another day, another meeting of the Hyuga Council. Daughter, I believe you have some good news to tell the council, said Hashi as he along with his two daughters sat in front of the council. I do not, father, said Hinata. What you told me just days ago that the Namikas broke up with the Haruno and you had taken her place, said Hashi. Father, I am ashamed to say that I was tricked by Kiba Inuzuka. He took Naruto-kun's form when he was away on a mission, hoping that when I found out that it was really him that I wouldn't care that it was him, not Naruto-kun. So one of those dirty Inuzuka dogs got in our way again, said an elder. Hinata, isn't this Kiba Inuzuka the son of Kinsune Inuzuka? Asked another elder. Yes, he is, said Hinata, a little confused about where the elder was going with this. I see, said the council member as he gathered his thoughts for a moment. Fellow council members, the vote is just under a week from now and at this moment we appear to be losing. We should have a backup plan if the Namika's vote doesn't come our way. What are you proposing, elder? Asked Hinata. That if the vote fails we should tighten up our bonds to our current allies. Already Hanabi is promised to Konohamaru Sarutobi next in line to lead the Sarutobi clan. If this vote doesn't go our way, I believe it would be best to promise Hinata to this Kiba Inuzuka, since after his mother's death he will take the role of the leader of his clan, said the elder as Hinata's eyes widened. Kiba has older sisters, so he wouldn't be leading his clan, said Hinata. Hinata, you should know that the male of the Inuzuka clan lead the clan. The only reason why Kinsune is leading the clan is because her husband is on a mission, said an elder. Therefore if the vote doesn't go our way then your marriage to the Inuzuka will be the next best thing for the clan. No, I belong with Naruto-kun and Naruto-kun alone, said Hinata. Hinata, be quiet, you are a tool for this council to use to support and spread the Hyuga clan power and influence. Hanabi has already agreed to wed the next in line for the Sarutobi clan seat and she didn't argue. Why should you be any different? Asked Hashi. Hinata was livid. The only reason why Hanabi did fight with the council was because both she and Konohamaru wanted to marry each other. They had fallen in love when they were placed on the same genin team. However, she was friends with Kiba, she didn't love him, thought Hinata. Agreed. If this vote doesn't go our way then we will promise Hinata to the Inuzuka to tighten our alliance with them, said Hashi. Yes, every once in a while you do have to throw a dog a bone, said another of the elders. Is that all? I am to them a bone to be thrown to a dog to keep it happy, thought Hinata as the meeting went on her just halfway there. Elders, please give me more time to win Naruto-kun's heart, asked Hinata with tears in her eyes. Wipe your tears away, daughter, show your strength as a Hyuga, said Hashi. We will give you until the vote is over on the Monday after the festival. If after that you do not have the Namikas then we will enter talks with the Inuzuka clan. Soon after that the meeting was over and Hinata had to go do her other duty. As one of the few in the Hyuga main household trained in the medical field, she was responsible for checking up on the guest in the basement. Hinata walked past where all the records of the Hyuga clan going back to before the founding of village were held. She walked past the floor where all the pipes that brought warm water to the compound and took wasteway were on. Finally she reached her goal, a door at the end of a hallway. On either side of the door stood a Hyuga ninja. These two were from the branch house, however as members of the main house guard they held a higher standing in the clan. These were the ninjas of the Hyuga clan and the Hyuga clan alone. They reported only to the clan and had the clan symbol on their headbands instead of the leaf symbol. Only the best of the branch clan became these elites. The only one ever to turn down a spot on the elites was Neji. Hinata never understood why he turned it down. The elites were far from the equal of the main house, but they were above normal branch house ninjas. Good day, Lady Hinata, said the first ninja. Open it, said Hinata. By your command, said both of the Hyuga's elites as they turned to the sealed door and placed one hand on each side of the door. Then they formed a hand sign to channel their chakra, before activating their Byakugan. When they turned on the bloodline limit the door slowly opened. Hinata walked through the door into the room beyond. It was well lit and spacious. It had fake windows with pictures of the village painted in them. In the far corner stood the bed where Tenten sat. Oh, it is that time of the day already, said Tenten. Good afternoon, Tenten, said Hinata with a smile as she walked toward her cousin's wife. Don't good day me, Hinata. I have been down here for 2 weeks, said Tenten. I haven't seen my husband in what should be some of the happiest moments of our lives. Instead, I am stuck in the basement being held against my will because of something that I have nothing to do with. So don't you dare good day me. Okay then, let's get your medical exam over then, said Hinata as they went about Tenten's medical exam. You and your child is doing fine. Good, said Tenten. How is Neji-kun? He is doing fine, he misses you. Tenten, and once again I am sorry that we have to do this, said Hinata as she walked back out of the door. The moment she was gone, Tenten broke down and started crying again. Tenten, said a new voice. Said Tenten as looked through her watery eyes toward the sound of the voice. Only to come face to face with a brown fox. Who are you? I am Stan. I am one of Naruto Namikaze's ninjas foxes. I have been sent to find you, said the brown fox. What, Naruto knows what is happening? Asked Tenten. Yes, along with Sakura and the Hokage, said Stan, we have proof that the Hyuga is behind everything, and now that we have found you, all Naruto has to do is use his Hiraishin no Jutsu to teleport in here, grab you and get you back to your husband. As he said the last part, Tenten's eyes widened. No, Naruto must not use that Jutsu to get in here, said Tenten. Why not? Do you not want to return to your mate? Asked Stan. Well, of course I do, but look around the room, will you? Said Tenten as she moved her hand around her cell. Stan looked around the room and saw what he had missed. My God, said Stan. Now you see what I mean, said Tenten. I can't believe I missed that, said Stan as he walked up to the wall to get a closer look. Under closer inspection, he confirmed his worst fears. When does the next person come? Not until breakfast tomorrow, said Tenten as she sat down. Okay, since I am stuck here, I will wait till then and leave with them, said Stan. If you want, you can write a letter to your mate. I will make sure he gets it. Thank you, said Tenten as she went to her little desk in the corner and started to write a letter to her husband. Lord Naruto isn't going to like this, said Stan as he burned the image of the seals that ran across all the walls in the cell. It was getting dark at the Namikaze estate as Sakura walked down the hallway toward Naruto's family archives. To her shock, Naruto was sitting with his back to the door at a desk reading scrolls. Slowly she walked up to him and placed her hands over his eyes. Guess who? She said in a playful voice. Hinata, said jokingly Naruto as Sakura slapped him lightly across the back of his head. You barker. Sorry, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he spun the chair around to see his girlfriend. So what are you reading, Naruto-kun? It better not be one of Jiraiya's books, said Sakura. No, I am not reading those books. I found my dad's notes about the Rasengan, said Naruto as he showed Sakura the notes, who took them and read a little. Naruto-kun, this says that your dad thought that there is 4 forms of the Rasengan, but I have only seen you use 2. Said Sakura. Yeah, Dad only mastered the normal Rasengan. I went past him with the Omega Rasengan, but he believed there were 2 more forms, said Naruto, one called the Flying Rasengan, the other the Golden Rasengan. Okay, who are these 2 different? Asked Sakura. In the Flying Rasengan you take a normal Rasengan, but you use your chakra to throw it at your enemy, turning the Rasengan into a long-range weapon, said Naruto as Sakura's eyes widened. Throwing a Rasengan, but how would you control the chakra once it leaves your hand? I don't know, the only clue Dad left me was 2 letters CS, and I have no idea what that means. CS, said Sakura out loud before she snapped her fingers. I get it, CS stands for chakra strings. All you have to do is attach them to the Rasengan and then you should be able to control it from a distance. Yeah, that could work. It would be tricky, but it would be very hard to get the strings on, said Naruto as he wrote his own notes. So what is this golden one about? Asked Sakura. Well, apparently a golden Rasengan is where you apply so much chakra control you turn the spinning Rasengan into a solid ball of golden chakra, said Naruto. What, a solid ball of chakra? That is impossible, said Sakura as Naruto shook his head. Apparently my mom's clan had an attack style like the gentle fist style of the Hyuga clan, Only instead of blocking the chakra points it turned parts of the enemy chakra solid, and apparently even the smallest amount of solid chakra explodes so violently it could destroy an entire person. So an entire Rasengan off this solid chakra could destroy almost anything. Not almost anything, anything. If my dad's math is right, a normal Rasengan if turned into a golden one could blow up everything in about 1 out of 8 mile, said Naruto. Scary, said Sakura. Yeah, I don't think I can even pull this move off. I don't think I have the chakra control to pull it off. You may have the control to through, said Naruto. True, but I don't. I want that kind of power, and I don't think I can form a normal Rasengan, as Sakura. Yeah, maybe one of our future kids could pull it off, said Naruto with a smirk as Sakura spotted a picture framed on the desk. She grabbed the picture from the desk to get a better look. It was a picture of a man and a woman maybe 2 years older than what Naruto and Sakura were now. The man, she recognized the man as the fourth but not the woman he was with. Hey Naruto-kun, is this picture of your mother? Yeah, Sakura-chan, that my mother, Kinshina, said Naruto with a smile as Sakura's eyes widened. Kinshina is the name of our daughter in that strange daydream I had yesterday, thought Sakura as she placed the picture back down next to the books Naruto had on foxes. This is just too weird, said inner Sakura. I am going to bed, Naruto-kun, said Sakura as she stood up and left the room. Good night, Sakura-chan, said Naruto. What are the odds of my vision of mine and Naruto-kun's daughter would have the same name as Naruto-kun's real mother, thought Sakura as she walked down the hall, back toward the bedroom. Suddenly she hit her foot on something in the middle of the hallway. She bent down and found stuffed toy fox. Where did this come from? Asked Sakura as she looked around. Everything seemed normal until she noticed that one of the doors was open. Wasn't that closed earlier? Said Sakura as moved toward the door. Slowly she opened it only to see what was supposed to be an empty bedroom was replaced with an occupied bedroom. In the back center of the room was a bed with 2 nightstands on it. The room smelled like perfumes and was painted a light orange. Sakura walked up to the bed and was greeted by the sight of the girl she had seen 3 times before. Kunshina Namikaze laying in her bed, fast asleep. Right next to her was a brown fox that looked up at Sakura for a second before laying its head back down. Sakura just stood there gazing at the sleeping girl. She looked so much like herself, but all Sakura could see was that she had Naruto's golden hair with strains of pink running in it. Slowly Sakura sat down on the bed and to her surprise it felt real. Sakura just sat as Kunshina did something Sakura herself does in her own sleep from time to time. She extended her hands and grabbed the nearest soft thing before bringing it to her chest and holding it tight. Unluckily for the brown fox, Kunshina's hands found her and pulled her to Kunshina's chest. The fox didn't like it at first, but in the end gave in to Kunshina's huge. This is my daughter, thought Sakura as she gazed loving at the sleeping angle. That is when she reached up and moved some of her daughter's hair out of her face. As she did this, Kinkura's blue eyes opened a bit. Mom, said Kinkura half asleep. Everything is fine, go back to sleep, said Sakura. Okay mom, said Kinkura as she went back to sleep and everything faded, sending Sakura flying onto her, but because the bed she was sitting on disappeared. Wait a second, I just talked to my future daughter, said Sakura. Now I know I am going crazy. Sakura, are you okay? Said the Kyuubi as he appeared at the door. I am fine, I think, said Sakura as she stood up. Did you see anything? Asked the Kyuubi as Sakura paused for a moment. Yeah, I did. Why do you ask? Said Sakura. What did you see? Asked the Kyuubi. I saw a girl that I think was Naruto-kun's and mine kid, said Sakura as Kyuubi just looked at her. What? That is strange, I sensed 3 chakra sources coming from this room. One was you, another felt like a mix of you and Kit. However, the other one I couldn't place my paw on, but I have felt it before, said the Kyuubi. So I am not going crazy? Asked Sakura. No, there is some other power here, and the fact that you saw Kits and your daughter means that it apparently powerful. It has to be able to open Time L. Time L? Asked Sakura. Basically, if you use the right type of chakra and then form it in exactly the right way, you can open a small hole in time and space, said the Kyuubi. How it takes so much, only demons can do it, and of that only fox demons know how. So what I saw was the future? Asked Sakura. No, what you saw was one path that the future can take, said the Kyuubi. Come on, I thought you were going to bed. "Yeah," said Sakura as she walked past the Kyuubi and closed the door behind her. In the darkness of the room a pair of green eyes glowed. "Kyuubi-kun Yubaka," said the fox before it disappeared. The next morning Hinata, Kiba, Naruto, Sakura, Anko and Kakashi stood in front of Hokage. "Good morning," said Tsunade as she fought the urge to drink the sake she had in her new desk drawer. "What is this meeting about, Lady Hokage?" asked Hinata. "Well, now that the war is over, I have to inform you that next month after the Chunin exam we will go back to the three-man squads," said Tsunade. "That is fine with me, Lady Hokage. I will be happy to be far away from him," said Hinata as she pointed toward Kiba. "Hinata, I don't care what your personal problems are, but you will show your fellow ninjas respect," said Tsunade. "Also, I said we will be going into three-man squads after the exams." "This that all, Lady Hokage?" asked Anko. "Yes," said Lady Hokage as a brown fox walked into the room with two scrolls wrapped up in his tail. "Take your mission scrolls and leave. Sakura, Naruto, stay. I need to talk to you about Minuto." "Of course, old lady," said Naruto, making Tsunade's eye twitched as the rest of the Jonin walked out. "All right, Stan, what have you found?" "I found Tenten last night. She is in the lowest level of the Hyuga main house under constant guard by two of their elite ninjas. She is in relative nice conditions, a soft bed, a desk, couches and books to read. However, she can't leave of course and she misses her mate," said Stan as he dropped the first scroll onto the floor. "I have a letter from Tenten to her mate. I believe his name was Neji. Well, hopeful he will be seeing her by the end of the day," said Sakura with a smile. "Yeah, all we have to do is gather the Anbu and then move against them," said Naruto. "No, Lord Naruto, that is not wise," said Stan. "Why?" asked Sakura. "What did the Hyugas do this time?" asked Tsunade. "The cell that Tenten is in is sealed with a seal that can only open when two of their elites using their bloodline limit decide to open the door," said Stan. "Well, I just use the Hiraishin no Jutsu and jump in the grab her and get out," said Naruto as Stan shook his head. "No sir, there are chakra sensing seals placed all over the cell if any other chakra sources enter the room after the door is closed," said Stan, "then the trap is sprung." "What is their trap?" asked Sakura. "What I thought was wallpaper that lined the entire cell is really on big paper bomb. When they are trigged the entire cell goes up," said Stan as everyone's eyes widened. "So they would rather kill the prisoner and the rescuers," said Naruto. "Yeah, and the seals they placed on will only destroy that room and leave the rest of the house intact," said Stan as he dropped another scroll. "Sir, I drew the seal if you wish to study it." "Thanks, Stan," said Naruto. "Well, we could get Neji and a branch member to open the door," said Sakura. "No, Lady Sakura, that will not work. The Hyugas who guard the door have a seal on their hands that allows them to open the door. So unless you find a way to get that seal it won't work," said Stan. "Well, at least we know that she is safe," said Sakura. "I'll make sure that Neji gets this letter and understands that he can't go after her until we find a way to open that door," said Tsunade as Sakura and Naruto left. "Naruto, remember the vote is this coming Monday. I wonder when our senseis when will get here," asked Rick as everyone sat waiting for Naruto and Sakura to arrival. "They will get here when they get here," said Minuto. "I am not talking to you, you almost ked Kinkura-chan," yelled Rick as he pointed at Minuto. "Rick, it is okay," said Kinkura as she sat on the ground petting Ronan's head. "Just shut up, you three," yelled the other three genin. "Hello everybody," said Naruto as he and Sakura appeared in front of their team. "Hello senses," said all the genin, even Minuto, to the surprise of Naruto and Sakura. "Well, our mission today is to set up stands for the party tomorrow night and then a little bit of training," said Naruto. "Okay, then," said everyone as they went toward the village's main street where every business was setting up stands to sell the goods to all the people who would be out for the party. Soon they were out front of their first job site. It was a bakery that would be selling cakes to the partiers. "Hello Naruto Namikaze, I am so happy to see you," said the owner as he walked out. Naruto, his hand extended. However, to Sakura's surprise, Naruto crossed his hands and glared at the store owner. "I don't remember you being happy when I walked into your store when I was 7, said Naruto as the man's eyes widened. "I see you remember that," said the man as he lowered his head. "Yeah, you tend remember a person who throw a kunai into your leg then lead a mob of people to beat you up almost to the point of death all because you wanted to buy some food," said Naruto coldly as Sakura finally understood why Naruto was acting so cold. This is the guy who hurt Naruto-kun, yelled Sakura in her mind as she glared at the man and tightened her fists. K him. He hurt our man, yelled Ina Sakura. Sorry, if I knew that you were a Namikaze, said the man. Why would my name matter? Asked Naruto as the genin looked on wondering why Naruto was being so cold. Well, we all thought you were the demon fox, said the owner. Well, I wasn't the Kyuubi, I was a hungry 7-year-old boy who saved up a week worth of change he found in the street for a loaf of freshly baked bread, said Naruto as the owner heads fell. I am truly sorry, will you please forgive me? Asked the owner. Sure, said Naruto as he extended his hand and took the owner's hand. Thanks, said the owner. Why aren't you completing your mission? Asked Naruto as the genin started to work to complete their mission. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.